The stage is set. The basketball ready to begin here on the campus of the University of Regina on Shoot for a Cure night here in Regina as we get set to bring you Canada West basketball action. It is the University of Calgary Dinos in town to take on the home side, the Regina Cougars. I am Daryl Ronald. This is the athletic director and a former Calgary Dino in Lisa Robertson. Lisa, we just saw a heck of a game between the men's and women's sides. That's why we're coming to you a little bit late. An overtime win from the Calgary Dinosaurs. I know you don't like when I say dinosaurs. Calgary Dinos in town. Let's talk about this game. We've got in front of us a really good one. A win doesn't necessarily clinch a playoff spot for the Regina Cougars, but it looks like 8 might be that magic number.
Yeah, this league in men's basketball is extreme, has extreme parity. So it's going to come down to the last games next weekend to see who clinches and how teams are seeded. So, but critical games for both these teams.
A Calgary win tonight will likely clinch them a playoff spot. If playoffs did start today, Regina would be taking on Victoria. As we see the starting lineups here, as the players come to the court, Matt Barnard, Nick Barnard, Brayden Kuski, Carter Miller will be your starters for sure for the Regina Cougars. We want to acknowledge that the University of Regina's campuses are located on Treaty 4 and 6 territories, the ancestral lands of the Cree, Saulteaux, Dakota, Lakota, and Dakota nations, and the homeland of the Métis. We encourage our community to honor these lands, honor Indigenous community members, family, friends, and neighbors, mourn for their lost children, and reflect on how we can all come together to begin to create a better Canada. Thank you so much for being with us wherever you're joining us from here on CanadaWest.tv on a Friday night. A little bit of a late start. Women win in overtime to the Dinos over the Regina Cougars. Men's game set to tip off in front of a great crowd here at the University of Regina. We got two big men to start it all off, Lisa.
Yeah, it's going to be Calgary's going to have to manage the Cougars' size, and the Cougars are going to have to manage a couple of really big stars on the Dinos that play very, very well together, so it should be a good night.
Majak Medal, that big frame, him winning that opening tip, getting that ball down low, putting it up. They got a foul, no points.
Yeah, and that's exactly talking to Coach Van Horn before he'd said we gotta manage their size. We gotta make sure we're rebounding, and it looks like the Cougars' size has played a factor in this first possession.
Majak Medal to the line for the Regina Cougars. Some scratches. Isaiah Bay, number 4. Scratch him off your list for the Cougars. Number 8, Cade Mather, and number 11, Kaz Dernsdauer. It's a short bench for the Dinos this afternoon. They didn't travel with a lot of players. Medal with his second. Up, and it is good. Crowd likes what they're seeing in the early going, and we are underway here at the Center for Kinesiology, Health, and Sport. Thank you for being with us on CanadaWest.tv. Alan Spooner has the ball, wearing number 10. Crowd starts to come alive. Stolen down deep by Medal. It is off of his foot and out of bounds, so it will be controlled by the Dinos on the baseline. That's Edzo Santiago. Santiago inbounds, all kinds of room there. Shot is up, it's off the back. Medal has his hands on it for a second, loses control. Spencer Roberts with the rebound. Size versus size in the early going. Stepping back, big long range shot is off the back of the rim into the hands of Medal. That's a second straight miss for Noah Wharton.
Wharton's one of the players that we'll have to watch tonight. He and Foreman have done great things for this team all season, so we'll keep an eye and see how they manage against the Cougars.
One more time comes Noah Wharton through the legs and trying to get around Kuski. Does, but runs into Majak Medal. Dinos looking to secure themselves a playoff spot. Spinning fire and getting that to go with Santiago. Cheeky little shot.
Yeah, it was. Nice soft touch there for the 2 points in the key.
There's Kuski trying to work his way around Spooner. Spins, fires off the rim. Rebounded smartly by Matt Barnard. Kuski into the key. Can't get that to fall. Carter Miller doesn't like that there wasn't a call. He's barking at the official. Long range pass taken by Miller. He spins and fires it off the foot of Alan Spooner.
That is a veteran play there by Carter Miller. That's something you only see from a 4th or 5th year player, and very well thought through.
Carter Miller built like a linebacker. Great
He
big body. I
absolutely is.
covered him playing in the Luther Invitational Tournament way back in the day. That tournament about to kick off here in the Queen City. Played for Dr. Martin Laboldis, and he was a man amongst boys then. Miller, long range shot is good.
Yeah, it's deceiving how quickly he can move. He looks strong, he is strong, but he's also very agile, and as we can see, he can shoot the ball.
It's one of those guys the Olympic program might look at for a bobsled pusher.
You know what? I think you're right, but I think Carter wants to move on to real life, and he's getting a degree in economics, and I think he wants to get out into the real world.
Real world's a scary place. Stay in school forever. Van Wilder taught me that.
I told him that in the gym the other day. I was chatting with him in the weight room the other day. I'm like, oh, stretch it as long as you can.
Here comes Miller, wearing number 13. Leaves it for Bernard. Barnard loses control of the ball. Back the other way come the Dinos with a head of steam in up and swatted away by Barnard.
Yeah, the Bernard twins are just absolutely athletic phenoms, and you can see it right there. It's this game's a little bit the opposite, where Calgary's going to have to deal with the Cougars' size this game.
Should mention the Cougars are coached by Steve Burrows. The assistants are Jamal Williams, Wade Heckel, Joel Hunter, and Evenga Burke. On the other side, Damian Jennings leads this University of Calgary Dinos team as Miller gets the rebound and comes up court. The lead assistant coach is Kyle Landry, joined by Cooper Hamelick, David Kapinga, and Blaine Michak. Majak Medal with the ball, 6:40 to go, 5-2 is the lead. Long range shot is up and it is good. Kuski with his first.
Yeah, if they let Kuski get hot, he can be very, very dangerous from the three-point line. So we'll see if Calgary adjusts to shut that down.
Spinning away from traffic, way back out for Spooner. Spooner finds someone in the key, and that's big block there by Bernard again. Reaching over Spencer Roberts and taking that ball away.
Yeah, it looks like Calgary's in for a doozy in the key tonight. I'll say you mentioned Calgary has a short bench, and they've got some injuries. They've left some of their top kids at home, so that may play a factor here tonight.
Jeff Tezos stepping into the ballgame wearing number 2 on the baseline. Stolen the inbound pass by Carter Miller, and up with the head of steam comes Kuski. Kuski trying to find some room to operate, finds Majak Medal, who runs over the defender. The basket will not count. It's going to be an offensive foul, I believe. It is indeed. Controlling the ball on the side by the Cougars bench is number 6, Javier Ramos Izquierdo.
Better you than me, Daryl. Better you than me.
Izquierdo. Carter Miller will check out of the ballgame. In for him is number 12, Arinze Emeka Enyeko. Look for him to be a big factor in this game as he was last weekend and 2 weeks ago when I called the game against the Mount Royal Cougars. Very good basketball player. They've got a foul on the court. 8-2 is the lead, 5:54 into the game.
There's an example of Calgary getting second and third shots and ending up with a foul and going to the line.
First attempt is up, and it is good. Coming off the fingertips of Javier Ramos Izquierdo. Came to the Calgary Dinos program from Madrid, Spain. The U18 program stands 6'7" in his second year of eligibility with this Dinos program.
Yeah, he actually he came from Real Madrid soccer, not basketball. Yeah, my godson actually plays for the Dinos. He's injured, not on this trip, but he's been telling me about Javier and how talented he is at soccer.
Makes you wonder, right? You got to be a multi-sport athlete. They always preach that.
Yep, and to transfer into U-Sport basketball from high-level soccer, he's definitely an athlete.
It's a very different U18 program than it is a basketball one. Here's Majak Medal with the ball in his hands, turns, fires, that one off the back of the rim, scooped up there smartly by Mason Foreman. Foreman will come across center court. He'll be met by Majak Medal, so he'll hand the ball off to number 6, Ramos Izquierdo, who steps on the baseline out of bounds.
He handles the ball well for a 6'7" kid.
Jalen Edwards will come into the ballgame wearing number 1 for the Regina Cougars. Carter Miller's brief stay on the bench is now over. Kuski steps out, as does Majak Medal. Edwards and Barnard will play pitch and catch. Here comes Jalen for Arinze and Nyeko. Barnard working it around. Here's Edwards one more time from distance, and it's off the back of the rim into the hands of Miller for a second, and Renze Nyeko has the ball. Barnard for Edwards, sidesteps his man and lays it in for two.
Yeah, Jalen's an exciting talent for Steve. He's joined the team this year, and once he wraps his head around this level of basketball, he's going to be phenomenal in this league.
Second-year player out of Chilliwack, BC. Long ways from home, a little colder than it would be at home
Yeah,
in Regina.
absolutely.
It's been minus about 25 all week. Wind chills making it feel like minus 40. Today we're getting a bit of a reprieve. 10-3 is the score. Cougars out in front. 4:15 to go as we step to the side, and is Deo Santiago inbounds for number 2, Jeff Tazo. Sub is up on the Calgary side, waiting to check into the ball game. That will be number 10, Alan Spooner. Shot goes up off the back of the rim. It's rebounded smartly by Bernard, and out for Jalen Edwards with all kinds of speed. Edwards looking for someone to pass to, finds Barnard for a second. He's fouled as he tries to go up and make the play.
Yeah, the Cougars speed, and they're playing super tenacious defense, which is making it very, very difficult for Calgary to find the shots that they're looking for. So I watched the Cougars in practice this week. They were really targeting the way this Calgary team plays, and it looks like it's paying off.
Santiago is out. Spooner is in, wearing number 10 for the Dinos. First shot is up, and it is good. From number 2, that is Matt Bernard of the Twins. It is Shoot for a Cure night here in the Center for Kinesiology, Health and Sport on the campus of the University of Regina. You need to get a title sponsor so they don't have to say so many words. Right?
Yeah, well. This team's experience shines through every single game.
Great awareness to have that come off the back of the rim, fall back, calmly collect it, turn around, spin that up and in. Good start for the Regina Cougars. It is 12-3. If you're the head coach of the Calgary Dinos, what do you say to your team in hostile territory in front of a really good crowd?
Well, I mean, they're playing an experienced and talented Cougars team, so what they're going to have to do is they're going to have to outwork them. If they can't out-talent them, they're going to have to outwork them. So we'll see what Dan has up his sleeve. I know they really rely on some good screen and roll type of plays, so we'll see if they start to take advantage of that. 16
games into the regular season. Cougars come into this one with a 7-9 record. The Dinos with an 8-8 record, just ahead of the Regina Cougars. Looks like 8 wins will be the magic number to make the postseason this year. As you see, Thompson Rivers, Saskatchewan, UBC with 5-11 records, 5-13 records, and then you get down to McEwen, who has yet to earn a win on the Canada West schedule as of yet. Good game in front of us here this evening. Thank you so much for being with us wherever you're joining us from on CanadaWest.tv. We got a packed house on Shoot for a Cure night. Steve Burrows and the Regina Cougars taking on the Calgary Dinos.
I just saw a shot of my neighbor there in the stands. That's awesome to see. He's a former referee in the city.
Is there anybody you don't know, Lisa Robertson?
Oh my goodness, it's Regina. Everybody knows everybody.
Experienced Regina. If you haven't done so, make your way here and see a game in person at the CKHS. Tickets at reginacougars.com. Ball's moved into Cougar territory. Big collision there. Bernard runs into the big body of number 7. That is Parker Johnstone. First time we're seeing him early in this contest. Stat sheet handed to me was incorrect. I had him down as a scratch this evening. It's good to see him out there wearing number 7, second-year player out of Kelowna Secondary. 3:11 to go in the opening quarter. It's a 14-3 Cougars lead. Up and over and rebounded smartly there by Bernard. He comes up with a head of steam. Lead passes for Jalen Edwards, who came off the bench. Steps back off the back of the rim. Miller swats at that.
Yeah, that was a bit of an early shot that, I mean, I'm not a coach, but I wouldn't recommend that early. It doesn't allow the rest of the team to get into a decent position to rebound the ball, so hopefully coach will talk to him about picking his shots a little bit more discriminately.
Got to find a way to get into a rhythm early in this basketball game as Majak Medal steps in. Matt Bernard will head to the bench. A couple of substitutions on the Calgary side. Wearing number 1 is Manyang Tong. He has the basketball. Working against Carter Miller. Finds a lane up and lays that one in. Dinos get one to go. They are now 1 for 11 from the field. Make that 2 for 12. Cougars in response 4 for 13 from the field. Perfect from the free throw line, 2 for 4 from three-point territory as Jalen Edwards tries to find Majak Medal. A little miscue. Medal turns around, lays that in.
Yeah, Medal is dangerous under the hoop when he gets the ball. He's quite mobile and uses that to his advantage once he's got that ball under the hoop.
6'10", a transfer from South Carolina State University. He's from here in Regina, playing in front of friends and family.
His sister's one of the top recruits out of the province, going down to the U.S., I believe, Michigan, I believe.
Mason Foreman with a long distance shot makes this a 16-8 game as Jalen Edwards works himself in against the defender in Parker Johnstone off a leg and out of bounds. 1:48 to go. It will be Calgary basketball on the baseline. Manyang Tong to inbound. Jeff Tazo working against defender in Nigel Warden, wearing number 9 for the Cougars. Johnstone down low, quick turn and fire, and Warden comes up with the rebound.
Calgary did a great job there of screening and moving that ball around to the offside, and they just unfortunately missed that layup there.
Here's Carter Miller trying to find some room to operate, spins, switches hands to his left, gets it to go, and he'll pick up the harm as well.
Yeah, this is exactly what Coach Van Horn was worried about, just the size and strength of the Cougars' big guys and the Bernard twins, and obviously in Carter Miller.
The fact that they've got a defensive end playing basketball here for the Regina Cougars in Carter Miller.
Yeah, I always asked him, I would ask him if he played linebacker in high school. I thought he could have been a two-sport athlete here for us.
Great big guy, and one of the nicest folk you'll ever meet.
He's a gentle giant. He's absolutely so nice.
Ever since I covered him in high school basketball, it's always, yes, sir, no, sir, hi, great to see you. That shot is off the back of the rim. Jalen Edwards scoops that up. 60 seconds to go in the opening quarter. The pass is just tipped out of the reach of Nigel Warden and out of bounds. It's a 10-point Cougar lead early in this contest. If you're just joining us, the Cougar women upset by the Calgary Dinos in overtime to lead off our Canada West broadcast. It's an alumni dinner before this game. It's a good crowd on hand, a lot of former players seeing what this edition of the Regina Cougars is able to do. Here's Majak Medal working himself against Mason Foreman, reaches up, this one off the rim, tipped up, and the tip back isn't able to fall for Jalen Edwards.
You can see Jalen's athleticism there with his vertical there, just powering up over some of those bigger guys.
There's the reach of the 6'10" Medal in on number 2, Jeff Tazo, keeping him at bay. 4 seconds left on the shot clock. Here comes the attempt from Spencer off the rim and falls wide. Make that Alan Spooner wearing number 10 for Calgary. 14 seconds to go here in the opening quarter. Here's Nigel Warden. He'll be met by Spooner. Doesn't have to make a shot attempt, but he will. It's up, it's off the glass, off the rim. Jalen Edwards has it, turns, fires, and he gets it to go. Good way to end the quarter if you're the Regina Cougars. The score now 20-8.
Absolutely a great way for Dan's team to go into this quarter break. Or not Dan's team, sorry, Steve's team to go into the quarter break with this lead. The Dinos are going to have to Cougars and the experience of this Cougar team.
You see the rebound there, the control of the Calgary Dinos. Carter Miller from way deep downtown. Shooting has been a difficulty for the Calgary Dinos, just 3 for 16 from the field as we go to center court. And you enjoy the University of Cougars dance team. There are the performance stylings of the University of Regina dance team here on the campus of the University of Regina as we bring you CanadaWest.tv action between the Calgary Dinos and the Regina Cougars. Statistics from the first half. The big one that stands up to me is the field goal percentage for the Calgary Dinos. It's ungood.
It is not good. It is below 20%, and we'll just leave it at that. And again, this is the opposite situation of our women's game earlier. Our men have 8 second chance points, so it's a tale of offensive rebounding that is definitely hurting the Dinos tonight.
Pitch to the outside, long distance shot off the front of the rim and into the hands of a waiting Matt Bernard. Make that Nick Bernard. Steve Burrow's making my job easy tonight by starting 2 players with the same name. Pitch inside for Kuski.
Are playing tonight.
We're about to see if those airball chants had any effect or will have any effect on Spencer Roberts as he steps to the line for his first attempts on the afternoon, evening, or morning, depending where you're watching, I suppose. 1 for 6 from three-point land are the Dinos, 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Crowd comes alive
like
as he misses the
may
first.
Have, rattled him a little.
Got to him on the first one. Cougars 8 for 19 from field goal range. Second one is up and good. 3 rebounds on the evening for Spencer Roberts, yes. So far, Carter Miller with the ball. Here's Kuski with a head of steam. Down towards the baseline, had nowhere to go. Ran out of real estate. Barnard to Arinze Enyeko. Outside, Carter Miller for 3. Can't get that to go. Tip back and it's in. Matt Bernard.
Another extremely athletic young man, and as is his brother, and now in their 4th year, they're a critical part of this team. And again, couldn't be nicer kids. Sorry, my mic got
We're figuring it out as we go along. Air ball is the chant. The crowd very much invested in this basketball game with 8:30 to go here in quarter number 2. 24-9 is the score. Carter Miller, and that's nothing but net.
Beautiful shot from Carter at the top. And I am going to invest in some new technical equipment up here now that I've had to use it.
You know a guy who knows a guy.
Exactly. I know a gal.
You can pull some strings. Oh. After working with me for an evening, you're probably going to invest in a better broadcaster too. Up comes, and you've got one in Adam Hunter, who will be here tomorrow for game 2 of this 2-game set.
Well, and thank God for the audience. Megan will be back as well to take on the color duties.
Ball falls in the feet of Menyang Tong. We do have one substitution. Outgoing will be 21 Spencer Roberts, and checking in for the first time where Mason Foreman. Couple of whistles go. We do have a foul on the play.
Off-ball foul on Braden Kuski.
It's an 18-point lead here for the Regina Cougars. Not what the Dinos expected. 2 evenly matched teams coming in with 8-8 and 9-7 record respectively. Dinos go back to work on offense. Noah Wharton with the ball, wearing number 8. Passes to the outside. That shot is off the rim. Matt Bernard comes up with it. He's going to cross center court with a head of steam. Carter Miller wanted to take that shot, ran out of real estate, elects to drive the lane. There was a foul on the play.
Yeah, and that was just sheer strength on Carter's behalf to move by that move by his defender and get that shot off.
Carter Miller will step to the line to shoot a pair. As you see a couple of substitutions for the Calgary Dinos. Here comes Miller's first. Up and good. 5 for 6 from the line are the Cougars. The lead is now 28-9 as he misses the second attempt. 7.5 to go in the first half. Dinos back on offense, back to work. Noah Wharton distributing the ball. Foreman down low working against Barnard. This time overpowers him, which hasn't happened early or often in this game.
No, it hasn't, but that was a very, very nice off-ball cut by the Dinos, and they ended up taking advantage of it. So nice play by the Dinos there.
Barnard outside. Carter Miller for three. And this time it falls into the waiting hands of the defender, Javier Ramos Izquierdo. Working it around the outside now. The Dinos back to work. Noah Wharton directing traffic from the top. Working against Kuski, not a lot of room to operate. This one goes up off the glass, can't get that to fall. The tip back by Foreman goes off the head of Kuski, and throwing the ball off the leg, and in a desperate attempt was Foreman. Did not work, and the Cougars will control the basketball.
Foreman's been quiet tonight. He was one that I was curious to watch to see what he'd do against our team, but obviously the focus the Cougars have put on him is paying off for the Cougars.
Do have a timeout. We'll step aside. We'll be back right after this quick timeout.
Quick three from Giles is good, and she is feeling it tonight. In front. Giles, all kinds of moves to get to the rim. Nice cheering deck from behind the Westman bench here tonight. Giles, Belanger had two huge threes. Giles looking for one. How about it?
Back underway here at the CKHS on the campus of the University of Regina. Cougars with a 28-11 lead over the Calgary Dinos as Carter Miller steps back, looks at the shot, drives the line. This one is good again. Carter Miller can do no wrong early in this basketball game.
Yeah, again, pure strength. The Dinos are looking for a foul. They're claiming that Carter is using his body to clear them out unfairly, but the refs don't agree.
Arenza, Emeko, and Nyeko will step out of the basketball game. Back in comes Jalen Edwards. See what the Dinos can do with this possession, now trailing by 20. For two teams with very similar records, so far it hasn't shown that way.
No, not at all. As I said, there's a
great move to the inside. Nice work there by number 8, Noah Wharton.
So some of the Dinos' top scorers have unfortunately been injured this year. One of which is my godson, Aiden Smith. He was second in the conference in three-point shooting, and it's looking like they're missing him.
Is that soon to be transferred to the?
Well, funny you ask. I don't think we'll get Aiden, but we are recruiting his younger brother extremely hard right now. So we'll see what magic Steve can play with that family.
Got a place to live, I suppose.
Well, I offered Aiden the same thing. But
Carter Miller outside. Barnard wide open from downtown, and you can't give a player his. Nick Barnard, Matt Barnard, 6'6", 6'5", respectively. Both fourth-year players out of Dr. Martin Lebolda's high school, very prominent high school program here in the Queen City. Crowd's getting into it. You'd love to see that. 34-14, 5 minutes to go here in quarter number 2.
Yeah,
Jalen Edwards.
Looks like the Rams football team is out again. They've been fabulous fans all season, and for both the men's and women's teams, and they're out again tonight.
And as their head coach, Mark McConkey, have them playing some good football. That program really building towards something. We'll see what they can do in the fall.
Yeah, it's exciting to watch, and Mark is he is a quality individual and a very, very talented coach.
And
so.
if you ever run into to Mark, he'll tell you the story of Dr. Jeff Keshin, the university president. He brags about the time he got to call a play, and now he wants a headset. And Mark said, we're going to give him a headset, but we're not going to plug it into anything.
Take the batteries out of the transponder for sure.
And Dr. Keshin said he called a run to the right, and it worked. So that right there qualifies him.
Well, there you go. I think I don't think Dr. Keshin wants to take the pay cut to become our football coach. He's got bigger fish to fry.
A couple things on his plate,
That's
I'm sure.
right.
Here's Jalen Edwards stepping back, working the ball around to the outside. Carter Miller has some room. This one off a leg. We've got a whistle. Steve Burrows doesn't like what his offense is really dialed up there. Shouting some last-minute instructions to number 3, Braden Kuski. The inbound will come from the Cougars.
I get so tired just watching Steve go up and down the sideline. He's just never stopped moving.
Second most active coach I've ever seen on a bench. The first being Dave Adams, who used to run the University of Lethbridge program.
Oh, okay. I don't know Dave.
Used to play the 500 Miles song by the Proclaimers and tell them, you should wear my Fitbit if you're going to put that much into a basketball game. 4 minutes to go, 20-point lead for the Cougars. Jalen Edwards working against Jeff Tazo, spinning, firing off the front of the rim, tipped way back, and that time it landed in the hands of Javier Ramos Izquierdo, and he is up, and he's got 2, is number 10, Alan Spooner.
Yeah, a little bit of a breakdown there, obviously, and for the Cougars, and the Dinos took advantage of it.
Kuski working against a much bigger defender, as he normally does. This time it's off the front of the rim, can't get it to go.
Yeah,
Kuski, you have to love his tenacity.
Oh my goodness, he is such a fierce competitor. It's fun to watch him. There's these fifth-year guys I'm going to miss so much, miss watching them, miss interacting with them, and Braden's one of them for sure.
6'1". He's working against players. You look down the lineup, we've got Lutz at 6'6", Tong at 6'5", 6'7" in Javier Ramos Izquierdo.
Yeah.
William Calaby, 6'11", 6'10". Roberts is 6'10". So he's got work cut out for him. He's got to compete, play a much bigger game than his 6'1" frame.
That's true, and he's done that for the Cougars his whole career.
The inbound will come from Mang Yang Tong. Second-year player out of Calgary, Alberta, played in that Edge school, famous for its hockey program. He's developed a couple of basketball talents as well. Spooner.
Yeah, they've got some good coaching staff at the Edge school, some of which are alumni of the of the Dinos program in Calgary.
Program you know one or two things about, I would think.
Yeah, I'm pretty out of touch with it now, but yeah, there's still a little bit of a
long-range shot from Carter Miller.
Carter's on fire from the three-point line tonight.
13, has 17 on the night. You know, Steve Burrows always says of Carter Miller, when he is on, he is one of the most dangerous players in the Canada West.
He absolutely is.
Tonight it appears he is on.
Yeah, if you're stopping him inside, he's shooting them on your head from the three-point line.
He does run over a couple of players. That's Jalen Edwards falls to the ground. 14 seconds remain on the shot clock. He will be reset. Second foul. Foreman will come out of the ball game for the Calgary Dinos. 7, Parker Johnston steps back in, as does 0, Ezido Santiago. Jalen Edwards, 4 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 0 fouls to this point. Did not start this game, came off the bench as he normally does. valuable asset to Steve Burrows in this Regina Cougars program.
Yeah, and he is the future of this program for sure. He's being groomed to step into some big shoes that will be leaving the program soon.
Way up and off the glass. Nice move there to the inside by Noah Wharton. He's been real good. Wharton has 5 on the evening. Jalen Edwards goes to work against Parker Johnstone. He finds the lane. Johnstone reaches in and just gets enough of it to negate the chance. There is a foul.
Looks like Jalen will be going to the line here.
Back into the game is Javier Ramos Izquierdo. Johnstone will come out, the offender on that particular foul. Jalen Edwards, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist. First attempt. Nothing but net there. It is Shoot for a Cure night, so you're seeing some pink shirts on the sidelines. Fundraising for cancer research. Good cause. Cancer, of course, affects almost everyone. 2:16 to go here in quarter number 2. 41-18 is the lead. The standout so far has been Carter Miller, wearing number 13 for the Regina Cougars. He has 17. Noah Wharton goes to work against Barnard. Jeff Tazo feeds down low. Izquierdo puts it up. It's off the back of the rim. There will be a foul. He will shoot 2.
The Cougars are giving themselves a nice buffer going into the half, and they won't feel quite the pressure. But I know Steve will absolutely not take the foot off the gas, and he'll want to tidy up any mistakes that the Cougars have made. And Dan's going to have to go into the half and figure out how they can start to put the ball in the basket.
Asher Nada is on the court for the first time for the Regina Cougars, a first-year player out of Reading, England. The women's broadcast, I think I got Dave Taylor a scouting trip to Europe, so I'm going to have to do the same for Steve Burrows, or I'm going to hear from it on Monday.
Yeah, well, Steve actually went and Arinze and Asher, he went and saw them in London, actually. So
he's already had his trip.
He's had his trip. He went over to UK to recruit both those guys.
Sorry, Steve, I tried my best for you. I guess you've run out of real estate.
Well, it's interesting. Once you get a pipeline and the athletes have a great experience, then they start doing the recruiting for you, and you don't have to fly to London anymore.
But you could.
Well, you could, and they will argue that they need to, for sure.
Gotta have some fun here on a Friday night here in the Queen City. Jalen Edwards with the basketballs. Winds it around to Nada, wearing 0. Shot from Edwards off the front of the rim, rebounded by the Dinos. Up with speed comes Santiago for Izquierdo. He sidesteps smartly, but can't get the ball to fall.
Yeah, that was a really, really nice move there. Unfortunately, he just couldn't finish there.
Nigel Warden leaves it for an unsuspected Carter Miller. Didn't expect that ball, almost got the points anyway.
I think 4 or 5 arms came down on Carter, and it didn't even put a dent in him.
Carter Miller will step to the line to shoot a pair. He's a 5th-year player, 6'5", out of Dr. Martin Laboldis. First is up, and it is good. Great crowd on hand. We are going to do this again tomorrow night. 6 o'clock is the women's start. 8 o'clock for the men. Come down to the CKHS, see some great Canada West basketball if you are in the area. If you're not, we will, of course, have the broadcast for you. Adam Hunter with the call on CanadaWest.tv. 50 seconds to go. Dinos with the basketball, trailing 43-19. Manyang Tong with the basketball. Working against Barnard, can't get around him, so he dishes off. Spinning and firing. This one goes off the backboard and lands in the chest of Carter Miller.
And unfortunately for Calgary, they're just struggling. They're getting some good opportunities. They're just struggling finishing.
Nada from downtown, that one maybe you got a finger on. Miller spins, can't get that one to go. A rebound again, that time is going to draw a foul.
Yeah, again, Coach Van Horn spoke about this before the game, and our size, the Cougars' size, is absolutely playing a factor here, and it was Coach Van Horn's concern going into this game.
Dakota McBride McCarran, 2nd-year player out of Regina Christian School. 12 players local to Regina.
Regina, I will tell you, has coming from Calgary, Regina has an incredible basketball development system from high schools to clubs. It's really is second to none.
7 seconds left. Shot clock winding down. This attempt misses. Carter Miller will hang on. Comfortable with that. We'll go into the half. The score is 43-19. Steve Burrows has to be happy with what he saw in the opening 20. The teams will head to the locker room. We will reset. We will be back with second half action from the Center for Kinesiology, Health and Sport on the campus of the University of Regina on CanadaWest.tv right after these words.
It's important because feelings that we have are generally tend to be things that we keep inside of our bodies, and being able to express that feeling to someone else may help them identify potential issues. Seeing it in real time being used by people has been an amazing experience, and people are engaging with it and see value in it, and that makes me feel really good.
I'm University of Regina Chancellor Pam Klein. The 14th Annual Inspiring Leadership Forum, presented by TD, is taking place in person at the International Trade Center on International Women's Day, March 8, 2023. This year's theme is apropos, Born to Transform. Our keynotes live transformative lives and will inspire. They include Canada's former Minister of Justice and Attorney General, the Honourable Jody Wilson-Raybould, Canadian journalist Lise Doucette, who is BBC's Chief International Correspondent, and renowned American CEO, best-selling author, and motivational speaker, Lisa Nichols. Join us to celebrate, to learn, to laugh, and to inspire leadership. Tickets are on sale now.
buy a lottery ticket in Saskatchewan, your money really goes a long way. More than 12,000 sport, culture, and recreation groups receive funding from Sask Lotteries every year. With Sask Lotteries, everyone wins.
There's no doubt running any kind of farm comes with day-to-day challenges. We built a new facility 2 years ago. Technology has totally revolutionized dairy farming. Sask Milk gives us the tools to provide high-quality standard of milk, making sure our equipment is all well taken care of, make sure that those animals are housed and cared for appropriately. They continue to push us with their standards to make sure that it just gets better and better.
Let's get started. Let's go.
The Brad Horning Legacy Fund at the University of Regina is doing something that I think is very fitting for our student athlete. It's creating scholarships in Brad Horning's name, and one of them is a scholarship for a student athlete with the women's hockey team, and one's for a student athlete with the Cougar men's hockey team. Brad was a wonderful example for students in terms of being a tremendous athlete. He was a tremendous student in terms of his academics. He was a leader and someone who persevered in the face of very substantial challenges. And that's certainly an example that all students should be able to follow at our university.
So you're a pizza person, but you're married to a wing person, and your kids are salad people? You can't pick your fam, but with over 50 menu items to choose from, you can make them all happy. Order today and enjoy Boston Pizza at home.
To be a successful farmer, you have to love what you do. Our farm is very much a family-run farm. It takes a lot more to run a family and run a dairy farm. But that means that we call upon grandmas and grandpas to help look after the kids. We spend a lot of time with our family, and we love it that way. We get up every morning, going out to the barn, knowing that we do this because it's a passion. I can't really describe it any other way.
It's the now you can watch all the local Regina news you want, anytime, anywhere, with 24-hour live streams, absolutely free app. One app's got it all. The Global TV app. Download now and stream Global News Regina anytime.
Welcome to the episode.
Best traffic report in the area to make sure you...
It's important because feelings that we have are generally tend to be things that we keep inside of our bodies, and being able to express that feeling to someone else may help them identify potential issues. Seeing it in real time being used by people has been an amazing experience, and people are engaging with it and see value in it, and that makes me feel really good.
I'm University of Regina Chancellor Pam Klein. The 14th Annual Inspiring Leadership Forum, presented by TD, is taking place in person at the International Trade Center on International Women's Day, March 8th, 2023. This year's theme is apropos, Born to Transform. Our keynotes live transformative lives and will inspire. They include Canada's former Minister of Justice and Attorney General, the Honourable Jody Wilson-Raybould, Canadian journalist Lise Doucette, who is BBC's Chief International Correspondent, and renowned American CEO, best-selling author, and motivational speaker, Lisa Nichols. Join us to celebrate, to learn, to laugh, and to inspire leadership. Tickets are on sale now.
Welcome to the Atmosphere.
Best traffic report in the area to make sure you...
Welcome back inside the Center for Kinesiology. There we go, turn the mic around. That'll work a little bit better. Welcome back inside the Center for Kinesiology, Health and Sport here on the campus of the University of Regina as the Calgary Dinos and Regina Cougars get set to take back to the floor. 43-19 is the score in favor of the home side. Some statistics from the opening half. The shooting percentage is the story of this one.
Yeah, the Dinos just can't get anything going so far. So shooting 19% is not going to get it done. So we'll see what they come out with in this half.
If you're the head coach of the Calgary Dinos, you've come into a hostile environment. You're a team that's ahead of the Regina Cougars in the standings. What kind of things are you saying to your team in the locker room?
Well, you're just keeping them calm and keeping them confident at this point. And
there's some confidence from Mason Foreman from three-point land.
Absolutely, and he was the one that I was surprised didn't do much for them in the first half, and it looks like they've made that adjustment.
Quick pass to Bernard again. Nick and Matt playing pitch and catch. Jack Medall has that go off his fingertips, and it's taken away from him by Spencer Roberts.
Cougars have to make sure they come out and don't take advantage of the lead and don't take it for granted that the Dinos can't come back and start finishing some of the shots they were missing in the first half.
There's Foreman working against Carter Miller. Back for Wharton. Can't find a lane. Shot clock starting down to wind down to 3. There's off the rim and it's rebounded by Kuski. Here comes Braden Kuski across half court. Pitches to the outside for Carter Miller, lays it up and looking for Bernard. He takes a big bump from Santiago, lands hard on his back.
Oh, I didn't like the sound of that, but he's back up. That's good.
Winded for a second, perhaps.
I think his elbow hit pretty darn hard. He probably got a stinger there.
43-21 is the score. He's going to inbound. We have another foul called. This time it's going to be against Wharton.
Yeah,
it's a hold.
That was a very well executed screen by the Cougars, and Dinos got caught up in it, and he had to grab on for dear life.
Braden Kuski working against Santiago there. Here's Matt Bernard. 1 of 2 on this starting 5 for the Cougars. Here's Carter Miller, able to keep control just barely. Puts a shoulder into Wharton. Now Wharton will take it away. Working against Carter Miller, that big body just runs straight forward. That went off a head and into the bottom of the basket. Here's Carter Miller with the basketball now. He's got 19 on the evening. Make that long shot from Barnard, and that's off the rim. Majak Medall with the rebound and an easy lay-in for 14.
Good work there by the Cougars under the basket, and Majak obviously finishes that second chance.
I'll spin that microphone just right around for you there.
Oh my goodness, this microphone is going to be the death of me.
We'll talk to the athletic director, see what she can do. Mason Foreman with the big long shot, and that one falls for 2. Putting a real dent into this Cougar lead are the Calgary Dinos early in this third quarter.
Yeah, and he was the one they're going to have to watch. They worked on preventing him from getting too many points all week, and they might have...
Kuski wide open. Had a lot of time, still missed that on the turnaround jumper.
They might need to refresh their memory on what they worked on with their coach in practice this week.
Starting to feel a little reminiscent of that women's game we saw just a short time ago. Big lead that evaporated. We'll see if the Cougars men's side can avoid a similar fate. 7:32 to go as Bernard walks the line, up and over and in.
Yeah, that was a very, very nice finish.
That was very pretty from the fourth-year player. All kinds of whistles there. Looks like we will have shots on a hold.
You can always tell who the foul is against. Just look at Coach Burrows on the sideline and you'll know whether the foul is against us.
Both hands on his head, yeah.
That's right.
Checking into the game is number 11, Angar William.
I don't think he'd make a good poker player.
No, maybe we should invite him to a game.
I think so, huh?
It's a long-range shot. That one off the front of the rim, gobbled up by Williams. Pitches it way outside, all kinds of room. And that one can't drop for the Dinos. Majak Medall with the smart rebound. Right into the front lane. Stops to apologize to the young lady. She says, no, go, go, go.
Oh, that's Michaela Kleisinger down there with her dad. So
talk about a talented basketball player.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's Majak Medall.
She's going to be a talented coach as well.
Up. It's a push. He will shoot 2. Called a lot of great basketball games for Michaela Kleisinger.
Yeah, she reminds me, she plays a little bit like Kusky in that she just one of the most competitive players I've ever watched.
Majak Medal is first. Nothing but net there. He now has 7 on the evening. The lead is 48-23. Here comes his second. That one bobbles around a little bit more, but still gets it to go. He's got 8 on the evening. 49-23 is the lead. 6:42 to go. 19 seconds on the shot clock as the Dinos go back to work on offense. Wharton hands it off. Long range shot off the rim. Gobbled up by big Carter Miller. Outlet pass for Braden Kusky, who's working against Spooner now. Kusky drives the lane, lays it up. Miller with a rebound on the offensive side. That's 2 for him. That ball touched the line. As Bernard picked it up, it'll be out of bounds. Dinos will take over. Mason Foreman with the inbound for Noah Wharton, and away they come one more time. Wharton, a third-year player at Brampton, Ontario from Ridley College. 6 feet tall, playing a lot bigger than that this evening. Spooner sidesteps his man. Pitches outside, is stolen by Carter Miller. That's 3 straight, and a big block there. Santiago doesn't like the call, but it is a block. 3 straight rebounds from Carter Miller. When he's not getting it done on the scoreboard as he did in the first half, he's certainly getting it done on defense and apparently on offense.
Yeah, and that's good to see, and Steve wants to see that out of all of his guys, where they're playing the complete game up both ends of the court.
Barnard, Matt Barnard checks out of the basketball game. Nick's still on the court. Kusky inbounds. Arenze Iñeko. And Mecca Iñeko back on the court, wearing number 12 for the Cougars. Another foul's called. This one's a charge.
No, it looks like on the screen.
Third called against Majak Medal. He's got to be careful now. 5:54 to go. Quarter number 3. Back to work goes Noah Wharton, trying to find a seam. Sidesteps Carter Miller. Pitches to the outside for Tezo. Working against Kusky. Tezo stops, drops this one off the back of the rim into the hands of Majak Medal, and back comes Carter Miller. Outside for Emeka Iñeko. Barnard for Kusky. For Carter Miller.
Great ball movement for the Cougars here.
Up off the rim, rebounds it himself. He falls. He took a bump there, slow to get up is Carter Miller. He is laboring a little bit. Tough kid, we'll see if he's able to get back in this ball game.
I didn't see exactly what happened, but he certainly isn't feeling himself.
Pitches it for Iñeko. Make that Medal, and he's good for 2 more. He's into double digits.
Steve encouraging his team to D up here and get a stop here.
Working against Majak Medal is a tough task, and learning that the hard way was Noah Wharton in the key. Looks like Jalen Edwards is up and ready to come back into the basketball game.
Yeah,
that
Steve
foul going against, that foul going against Carter Miller.
Yeah, Steve wants to get Majak out so he doesn't get a 4th foul here and has to sit him for all of this quarter.
Down low, up.
Yeah.
Carter Miller doesn't like the call. That is going to be a foul. Mason Foreman going up for the attempt. He will shoot 2.
Looks like that's Carter's 2nd foul, so he's going to have to...
2nd in a row.
Yeah, exactly.
Some substitutions for the Dinos. Out goes number 8, Noah Wharton. William is back out as well.
That might be a little bit of the Dino strategy right now, is just body up and hope to get a call there in the paint.
It's a 26-point lead. Now make that 25. Johnstone is back into the ball game, as is Manyang Tong for the Dinos. 10 points for Foreman, 6 rebounds, no assists. Here comes Carter Miller, long baseball type throw. Handled there momentarily by Iñeko. Here he's got the ball again under the rim. This one up the back, and he gets it to go. And Emeka Iñeko with 2.
Yeah, great finish under pressure there. He had 2 defenders on him and still finished.
Handle that hard pass from Carter Miller.
His hands are probably still stinging.
I would imagine so. That pitched outside. Picked up their long range shot is off the front of the rim into the waiting hands of Nick Barnard. Jalen Edwards.
Cougars really moving the ball well right now, quickly getting Calgary's not able to set up defensively.
Edwards works it around the outside. Barnard from distance. This one almost went. Miller swatted at it. Johnstone has the rebound. Here's Tezo walking along the baseline, wide open. Can't get much more open than Parker Johnstone there.
No, 2 guys dropped down on the ball and left him wide open right under the hoop.
That's his first 2 on the evening. Jalen Edwards with the ball, 3:24 to go. 53-29 is the score. Here's Braden Kuski. Pitches outside. Emeka Nyeko working against the big body of Foreman. Just off the rim, can't quite get that to land. Jeff Tezo takes a couple of steps, pitches it down low off the rim and in, and there's a couple of points from Meng Yang Tong, the Calgary, Alberta Edge School product.
Yeah, help side stepped up and left Calgary wide open again under the hoop.
The pass intended for Carter Miller, just not quite low enough. It's a 6'5" frame and he still couldn't reach up and grab that, so that tells you just how high that pass was. As we see number 9, Nigel Warden, check back into the game in favor of Braden Kuski. Shoot for a Cure night here on the campus of the University of Regina, raising money for and awareness for cancer research. Parker Johnstone with the basketballs. The Dinos try to claw themselves back into this basketball game. It's 53-31. That shot is an air ball. He's going to hear that from the fans, and there they go. Jalen Edwards with the basketball. Jumping and waving his hands in the air is Carter Miller. He had all kinds of room. He's still alone. Now he's got it. From 3, off the rim, falls wide.
Yeah,
Johnstone takes the dump.
He had all sorts of time there, just couldn't get that one to fall.
Johnson takes a big bump and falls backwards onto his keister. There's a foul called on Arize Emeko there. Emeko and Nyeko. Johnstone will shoot 2. He has just 2 points on the evening. See if he can make that 4 here with an attempt. A rare southpaw motion there. First one off the back of the rim and out. Set to hear it from the Cougar faithful. That one a big air ball, and here come the Bluebirds. Kuski back into the basketball game. That's going to do something to somebody's confidence. Nick Barnard checks out of the basketball game.
Yeah, that's never fun when you're, especially when you're not at home.
They've been cheering that a few times this evening. Dinos shooting 12 for 50 from the field. Nigel Warden with the ball now. Steps back, shoots, and that's a good decision. Nothing but net. Cougars by extension, 18 for 45. Doing just enough to have a sizable lead this evening. 1:50 to go here in quarter number 3. We are doing this all over again tomorrow night on CanadaWest.tv as they dial up long distance for Alan Swooner, and he connects.
Yeah, the Diners haven't made much from outside, but that was a nice shot there. Nothing but net.
Kuski from further downtown. Shot that one from Lumsden, couldn't get it to go. Miller had the rebound, but there's a foul, Chuck. Let's see who this foul is actually against.
Looks like it's against the Cougars.
It's a 3rd for Carter Miller, you're right.
Yeah.
That is going to bring up a substitution. Miller heads to the bench, and up is 0, Asher Nada.
Yeah, this will be a bit of a different look now for the Cougars. They don't have the size they had, nor the experience in Madal and Carter.
But they've gained an accent. Nada, of course, an Englishman. Just going to go up and get this rebound, yeah? That's my English accent.
Well,
I'm working on it.
It's better than mine, we'll just put it that way.
Not a voiceover actor. Although I wish.
Maybe that could be your next career.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Do Chevy ads or something like Will Arnett. Stepping around is Nadas. Pushback, can't get it to go. There is a foul, he will shoot 2.
First you have to become Will Arnett
Right.
to get the gig.
Yes.
I think that's the key.
The chat from the crowd is, you can't do that. Great atmosphere here. The men's football team is a lively crowd.
They are. They've been great all season. So proud that they represent our school so well, and they've just been fun to watch at our games.
They're
this
having a
year.
great time over in Section A.
They are.
Oh my goodness. They've got their own handmade foam fingers over there. My
They got their shirts on this game. They've come a couple times shirtless, so I guess the cold weather put a damper on that.
It has been minus 30 much of the week. Spooner from long distance. That one goes 2. That's 2 in a row for him. Alan Spooner drawing his team closer. It's 56-38.
It's amazing when you start to hit the confidence that comes up, and it looks like that's what's happened for Spooner.
Edwards had that ball stripped momentarily, but it is off a dyno and out of bounds. 49.5, and the Cougars will control. 15 on the shot clock. Make that 13. Nigel Warden looking for somebody to work with. Found Jalen Edwards, and it's off him out of bounds, and Dinos will take over. Dinos are in bonus here as they go back to work on offense. Running into Foreman is Nigel Warden, up in the lay-in. The lay-in is good from Noah Wharton.
I had to bite my tongue there on the screen and no whistle, so I'll just leave it at that.
Brampton, Ontario native with the 2 points there. The lead is now just 16. At one point it was 26. Pitching outside for Jalen Edwards, he'll shoot. That is off the back of the rim, takes a bump, he's slow to get up on the near side. Now he's back up and in the play.
Looks like Arinze's limping a little bit too, so I didn't see what happened to him, but certainly the Cougars are missing the size that they started with.
Majak Medal on the bench, he's got 4 fouls. Carter Miller has 3, he's on the bench. That shot is up and no good. That brings us to the end of the third quarter. It's 56-40 as the Regina Cougars try to build on what was once a much more sizable lead here at the Center for Kinesiology, Health and Sport on the campus of the University of Regina. Fourth quarter action coming up in just a moment.
Finds Dewar on the inbounds. Alex Dewar drives right into traffic, kicks it outside. Nickel with the shot fake. Moibi to Mwafo. Nice little up fake. Got Flats to bite. And then
Some young fans enjoying Canada West basketball action here at the Center for Kinesiology, Health and Sport on the campus of the University of Regina, and hopefully you are as well as we bring you the Canada West basketball action between the Calgary Dinos and the Regina Cougars. It is a 16-point lead for the home side.
Well, it looks like looking at the stats, the Dinos have started to crawl back in their field goal percentage, and obviously that's been the difference in the score.
We'll see if the difference makers are back on the floor for the Regina Cougars, those being Majak Medal and Carter Miller, checking both back into this basketball game. Huge hit there, Miller for Majak Medal. Big block by Spooner. Oh my goodness. Back the other way come the Calgary Dinos. The shot is up. That's no good. there will be a foul on the play and 2 shots forthcoming.
Well, Dan's got his team playing a more physical game to match the physicality of the Cougars, and it's starting to pay off. So the Cougars are going to have to...
Huge collision there in the offensive zone.
It really was.
My goodness.
So it's critical that Medall and Carter stay in this game, and the Cougars can keep that physicality and size in the game.
Football team liked the hit. I guess that's something. Here comes Carter Miller, loses the ball, goes towards the baseline. Dinos have it. Spooner.
These players don't have the luxury of a helmet and pads like a football team does.
Off the front of the rim and into the waiting hands of Bernard. Slowing things down now as he finds Braden Kuski. Kuski to the outside for another Bernard. And that pass is errant off the fingertips of Noah Wharton, they say, so Bernard will inbound on the near side. 9:09 to go. Bernard looking for somebody to pass to. Now he'll find Kuski for Carter Miller. He's working against Manyang Tong. Pitches way outside. Bernard from distance off the back of the rim. Rebounded by his brother. They'll reset. They have room on the shot clock to try something else. Wide open is Bernard. That time it's off the rim. Majok Medall picks up the rebound. Another try, and this time, no.
Oh, my goodness.
3 glorious attempts, and Bernard couldn't finish that one. Spooner is going the other way. That's off the front of the rim. Rushed shot from him. He hit 3 threes in a row. And I think he thought maybe that one would just fall for him.
Looks like the Dinos are doing to Carter what their women's team did to Jade, and they're starting to double up when he's in position.
Kuski from distance is good, but the whistle had gone. Basket will not count.
Foul on the screen again.
Let's see what Steve Burrows thinks of that call. He shouts some questions, let's say, to the lead official.
Was the foul on Kuski there, I think?
Foul was on Kuski. That is his second.
Okay.
He's got 6 points to go along with that. Really leading the offense in terms of playmaking. 8:21 to go as we come down the stretch here in Canada West men's basketball action. Arinze Amieko checks back into the game. Out goes Matt Barnard. And the Dinos go back to work once more. Jeff Tazo with the ball. Trying to find some room to operate. It's not come easy to these Dinos. Santiago with the ball. Tries to find Spooner, but it's stolen by Kuski. Didn't have a great handle on it. That pass is off the fingertips of Ramos Izquierdo. Long range shot. This one's off the front of the rim. Back into the hands of the waiting player, Santiago.
Cougars are going to need to do a better job of taking care of the ball. The Dinos were taking advantage of points on turnovers, so the Cougars have got to clean that up.
Distance shot is off the back of the rim. Kuski had it for a moment. Santiago has it now. Foreman lays it in, and the Dinos have 44. 7:32 to go here in this basketball game. Reminder, these two teams will do this all over again tomorrow night here at the University of Regina campus. Majok Medall with the basketball. The Regina native working in the key against pressure. This one off the front of the rim. Whistle did go, and we will shoot 2.
Yeah, the Calgary's certainly made some adjustments this half, and they are keying Majok and Carter. When they get the ball, they've got another body on them coming over to help them. So that's been a difference right now for the Dinos, and the Cougars aren't getting the easy baskets they were getting in the first half.
10.7 rebounds from Majok Medall. From the free throw line, the Cougars are 16 for 23 now. That's 11 for Majok Medall. He settles in for his second. Nothing but net there. Basketball action continues here at the CKHS. Rams football team like that one. Their homemade foam fingers. Here's Spooner trying to work his way around Kuski, but can't. Eluding Amieko. was one of the Dinos and make that number 2 Tezo, but can't get the shot to fall. Here comes Carter Miller one more time. Long range pass, made that look easy with his left hand. Pitches outside. Bernard works it around for Kuski. For Carter Miller. Tries to get around the defender Santiago. Elects to dish it outside. Bernard, and he hits from downtown.
And Coach Burrows told me before the game, you'll know when we're going to make shots is when we move the ball well and quickly. And they just did that there, and it ended up with a beautiful 3-point shot.
Barnard with a shot from Success, Saskatchewan. Real long range, got that to go. That's got to feel pretty good for him. Cougars now 6 for 19 from beyond the arc. Stepping out of the basketball game will be Alan Spooner for the Calgary Dinos, and in comes Noah Wharton. Wharton has 7 points, just 1 foul to his credit so far. Has to be happy with that stat line.
Yeah, for sure.
Carter Miller down low, big body to defend, spins up, and he gets that one to go, and now he's into the 20s for points. He's got 21.
Yeah, muscled up against 2 defenders. Like I said, they're putting 2 on him. Anytime Carter or Majok get the ball inside, they're sending another man over to help.
Nanyang Tong is on his back. The foul is actually going to be against Tong, who was knocked backwards, his 3rd. Foreman checks out of the basketball game for the Calgary Dinos, and back to work go the Cougars on offense. Nick Barnard works it around to the outside. On the near side is Carter Miller with strength and some room. Couldn't get that to go. Majok Medal will try, and he's stopped. Spencer Roberts with the block, the Lethbridge product, and he's going to draw a foul. And it looks like, is it Miller shooting 2, or is it's Medal shooting 2? It's the 3rd foul going against 21 Spencer Roberts, the 3rd-year player out of Lethbridge. Came to that program from Northern Arizona University. 6'10", so a big body to draw a foul against Majok Medal, who is also 6'10".
Yep.
And we have a timeout called. If you're the head coach, Steve Burrows, do you really say anything to your team, or do you just kind of let them have a second to breathe?
Take care of the ball. Take care of the ball so that Calgary can't take advantage of points off of turnovers, because that'll hurt them down the stretch. So I think he'll just say, just take care of the ball and move the ball on the offensive end for us, so we can get some good looks.
The lead is not insurmountable, I suppose, if you're the Calgary Dinos, but it is, there's got to be some urgency dialed up here.
Yeah, it's absolutely not insurmountable, especially in the men's game, because the transition game is so fast and things can turn around so quickly. So, yeah, Calgary's got to keep moving the ball, keep pressuring it, and try and get this Cougars team running and at a sync.
Got the crowd fired up. Dancing, ready to go. Better moves than Reggie the Cougar had just a short time ago. Here come the Cougars back onto the floor. The lead is 63-44, 5:46 to go here in game number 2 of our evening's broadcast. Majok Medal to the line. He has 12 on the afternoon or evening. Cougars 17 for 24 from the line. Make that 18 for 25. As we said at the outset, Regina does not clinch a playoff spot, but it does look like 8 wins would be enough to secure themselves a postseason berth. Every game very important as we come down the stretch here in the Canada West. Just a couple of weekends left to go.
Yeah, a sweep of the Dinos this weekend would really, really help them, not just in the standings, but in their confidence getting late in this season and heading into playoffs.
Here's Noah Wharton trying to spin away from traffic, pitch his way outside, long distance shot is off the front of the rim. Majok Medal had it for a moment and goes out of bounds. He doesn't like the call. He thinks that it was pushed out of his hands. The referee says no, and Spencer Roberts will go off on a change. Almost a wholesale change as Santiago steps out as well. Back out there is Javier Ramos Izquierdo. That shot is up, and 2 Cougars collide there, and Majok Medal and Carter Miller, who has the ball now.
Jock's probably used to running into Carter in practice, so he's that didn't even stun him at all.
Oh, you again. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Here's Kuski on the near side, working against some pretty good pressure from Izquierdo.
Great defense.
Takes
there.
a bump there, spins, fires, still just about got it off, grabs his head now. Felt that one.
Yeah, that was great defense there, man-to-man defense there by the Dino.
Noah Wharton, who's all over Kuski.
Yeah.
He'll be met now by a falling Nick Bernard. Gave him room to operate, took the shot. Punching that ball away was Manyang Tong, and he took a huge bump from Carter Miller.
That's going to give Carter his 4th foul, so I think Coach Burrows will take him out.
Yeah, he kind of expected that. Looked at the bench. Oh, me? Yeah, okay, I guess that makes sense. Out he goes. In comes Nigel Wharton, and 13 will take a seat. Game's not super tight, so Carter Miller won't totally mind that. Here comes Izquierdo. We'll work it around the outside for Foreman. Cougars really pressing on defense here. Not willing to give up an inch. Up goes the shot, it drops. Majak Madal didn't miss that block by much.
We'll see who the foul is on. Majak would also put him as the 4th foul, and as we saw when Carter and Majak are both out of the game, it's a very different looking Cougars team.
Scoreboard flash that was against number 5 Nick Barnard, his 2nd. So at the line is Noah Wharton, and he's added 3 to the scoreboard for the Red. Barnard up, trying to get himself across center court. Now he will. Wow, he's got Wharton draped all over him.
Yeah, Wharton's playing some really, really great defense right now, as is the whole Calgary team. They know that they need to make every shot the Cougars take difficult.
And Nyeko with a big shot and a big 2 points to make that lead 20 once more. Arinze, Emeka, and Nyeko has been dynamite for the Cougars in the last couple of weekends, wearing number 12. From Liverpool, England. I won't First one's up and nothing but net there. Cougars very much looking like they can cruise to victory here and tie the Calgary Dinos in the standings with 8 wins.
I think if this keeps up, you'll see Coach Burrows start to pull some of his starters out and make sure they're healthy and rested for tomorrow night.
But will we see him smile?
I don't know.
It's very rare you see a Steve Burrows smile during the course of a basketball game. Might reserve it till the end of tomorrow's game.
Yes, I would have to say.
Pitch to the outside, Izquierdo for Wharton. Wharton making a push to the inside against Bernard, finds some room to operate, gets that one to go.
That was some fancy footwork and a great finish there.
A lot of flash, and fortunately got himself a little dash there as well.
Yeah, if you're gonna have the flash, you gotta finish.
That's right. My great uncle used to say, never mistake action or motion for action. A lot of motion on that play. Up on the sideline for the first time is number 22, Reed Corver, a first-year player out of Calgary. Standing 6'7", looks like he'll check into the game. He will. He's down low with the bright blue shoes on. Parker Johnstone will come back on as well. And we're getting into some, well, you don't want to call them garbage minutes because they're opportunities for younger players to learn, but into the game now for the first time is Yotam Alazar from Palo Alto, California, 6 foot tall, first-year player. He wears number 5. Just over 2 minutes, 50 seconds. Second shot is up and it is good. The lead is now very sizable, 71-49 for the Cougars. Here come the Dinos. Parker Johnston leaving it near side for Spencer. Has the ball poked away from him, and here comes Nigel Warden. Number 9 with all kinds of speed off the bottom of the rim. The follow-up and the follow-through. It's Jalen Edwards for 2.
Yeah, I think fans are gonna enjoy watching Jalen with this program for the coming years.
Izquierdo tries to find some room. I don't know who he's trying to drop that off to. It's miscommunication. He's yelling at the first-year player, 22. That is Matej Juvenichik.
Yeah, Dan's got some young kids in here that probably don't see a lot of minutes right now, and definitely miscommunication there.
There's the rebound coming from Alazar. Parker Johnstone has the C part for him. He had some room. He's going to shoot 2 here on the foul. I don't quite know who that's going to be against. Is that 9? It is 9. Nigel Warden's going to draw his first.
Yeah, and as I thought, Coach Burrows is starting to take some of his starters out and save them for tomorrow night.
Dakota McBride Morano is back in. He wears number 6. Marian, rather. McCarran, Marian. And also into the game for the first time is Logan Newman, a second-year player out of Regina. 6'3" guard.
That's why you get paid the big bucks. You have to pronounce everyone's names.
I'm getting paid for this?
I certainly am not.
Goodness gracious.
I hope you are.
The AD gets paid enough. Here on the other side, McBride McCarran. McBride working with Arenze. Arenze elects not to shoot. Now he'll pass down low to Jalen Edwards, and he caught it mid-stride and still just about got that to go. Fancy play, 90 seconds to go.
That was fancy, but again,
Spooner,
fancy is as fancy does.
Spooner took the shot despite the fact the whistle had gone. I think a little bit of frustration on his behalf. Vucenovic is a first-year player, 6'9", out of Toronto, Ontario. He's wearing the fancy blue shoes on the near side, wearing 22. So see Yotam Alazar step to the line for his first, and it is good.
So what's up with the different colored shoes? My son's basketball game, 2 kids were playing with different colored shoes. Are you hipper than me and understand that?
So do you go in with your friend and you buy a red set and a blue set and then you swap one?
I have no idea.
You hope you're the same size?
I have no idea.
That's got red on the inside and blue on the outside.
That's super cool. That's
look at us go.
Different than what I saw in my son's game.
Look at us go. They're turning the lights off on us.
They're shutting the lights off on us
out
now.
Here,
yeah.
Up in the broadcast position.
Somebody's child is on the loose and shutting lights off.
Sign of things to come, perhaps. Maybe it's on a timer. Maybe the sign that the game is over. $1:10 to go as Parker Johnston goes to work. And he finds the ball down low. A nice play there, and the lefty comes up with a quick 2. Good signs from the bench players here, the depth players for the Calgary Dinos.
We, when I was with the Calgary Dinos many years ago, our head coach of volleyball, his son pulled the fire alarm in the middle of a game.
Oh
so
no!
That was fun.
Oh
so
no!
At least it was just the lights here.
Yeah, fair enough. 47 seconds to go before this game comes to a conclusion. A reminder to fans out there, we are doing this all over again tomorrow night. Women's game tips off at 6, the men to follow at 8. Adam Hunter will have your call here on CanadaWest.tv. Parker Johnston driving the lane. Oh my goodness, he's having a good, strong finish to this game. There's a jump ball called, possession arrow in favor of the Regina Cougars. Make that the Dinos. I read that wrong. Dinos with control. There's the inbound. Johnston back up top, trying to get away from Warden and Mietko, and he does, and he gets 2 to fall. It's a good finish to this game for number 10, Spooner, with 9 points now.
Well, and now our football team is chanting "Start the bus." So,
just 14 seconds to go. They will have to technically shoot. I guess they'll just take the foul here, the shot clock violation. And there is the expiration. 3.9 seconds to go. Classy move on the behalf of the Cougars and Nigel Warden to just let that run out as opposed to taking an attempt, and the clock will wind down, the horn will sound, and it will go into the books. The Regina Cougars with a 73-57 victory here at home on night 1 of 2 in Canada West basketball action. Regina Cougars have to be happy with what they saw down the stretch. We will do this all over again tomorrow night. Thank you for being with us on CanadaWest.tv, and we'll see you again real soon.